My name is Kyle Dickinson, and I am your friendly senior security solution architect that focuses on threat detection and incident response. And we are coming to you live at reInvent 2025 in Las Vegas on the expo floor. And joined with me is my coworker, Carrot, the best, better than AM, always will be better, but also way cuter. Sorry, buddy. But hey, AM, how are you?
You know, I'm getting paged right now, Kyle, so I think you can handle this.
All right, sounds good.
Right? No, I'm AM. We're going to be talking about something that maybe deals with paging. I'm AM Grabelny. What is going on? I'm a principal developer advocate here on the AWS Game Day team and one of your hosts today, joined, more importantly, than Kyle or me by our wonderful guest, Mohit. Mohit, you want to introduce yourself, please?
Yeah, hi there. My name is Mohit. I'm getting paid, so I have to leave now.
Oh, hey, that's my joke. Hold on. We're both paid. We can leave Kyle by himself, actually, Mohit.
No, so my name is Mohit. I'm a senior manager of product on the AWS DevOps Agent that was launched earlier today in Matt Garman's keynote.
Congrats on the launch. I know it's very exciting to launch a product.
I mean, it's not easy by any stretch of the imagination to launch something, and let alone something that I feel like is going to make developers' lives a heck of a lot easier because of what it's going to be doing. And we're going to be talking about what it's doing because, like on this show, as always, we do a wonderful demo. But first, we have some questions we're going to throw your way.
Oh, no. Okay, let's go.
Yeah.
You know I didn't really get paged because it's not 2 a.m., right?
Oh, there we go.
That's the only time I actually get paged. So why are we bringing this up, Mohit? What is the DevOps Agent out here to do? How is it improving the lives of developers who may be getting those pages?
Yeah, so we looked at production system operations, and there's basically two halves. Dealing with incidents when they happen, and then the holy grail of how can you prevent them all together. And when we looked at incident response, really what customers are telling us is the most important thing is how to get out of alarm as fast as possible, and that's really the first half of what we solve. And it's pretty obvious why you want to get out of alarm. You can go back to bed faster.
That's right.
And more importantly, your business and your customers experience less downtime. And then the other half is around prevention. Every incident is a learning opportunity. That's a very core part of our culture at Amazon and AWS.
Yeah.
Yep. And the other half is how you can take all the incidents you might have had in the past week and learn from them, or enable the agent to learn from them to prevent them from happening in the future.
Reactive, proactive.
Reactive, proactive.
There you go.
Yeah.
And to me, look, I know I joke a lot. It's my defense mechanism. But I have been paged a number of times in my life, and it's not so much the page that fills me with existential dread. It's more what I have to then go do, and depending on the systems that I'm supporting and all of those things, that really fills me with that dread because I'm going to have to go start digging.
Sure.
Right? And so how is DevOps Agent here to help me dig? I think that might be one of the things that we want to talk about, right?
Yeah.
We're looking through telemetry, we're looking through alarms. What's DevOps Agent doing for me?
Yeah, no, absolutely. So, oftentimes when you have an incident, like you might get an alarm or you might get notified from a customer, downstream at a web application or an API, but the root cause may be a few nodes down in your stack, but it might be behind layers of lambdas or something like that. I said lambdas, lambda functions.
Oh,
right.
Chris Buns will appear, even though he's not here anymore. He will still appear.
He will appear.
He will.
Lambda.
Right. So if you look at what has to happen today, at each node, on the way down to the root cause, you're having your on-call agents having to look at first the alerts or the alarms, then from the alarms look at the metrics, from the metrics look at the logs, and it's not just necessarily one kind of log. It could be infrastructure logs, it could be application logs. Many customers use different solutions for both, and it's you may also need to look at your deployment logs to look at the deployment history to get a true root cause. And by the way, if the node you're investigating is not the right node, you have to rinse and repeat one level down your stack.
Right.
Rinse and repeat again, one level down your stack. And this can take hours. And this is really what we set out to solve with the first half of the DevOps agent.
Right.
And when customers are stuck in this kind of reactive cycle, they don't really get the time to work to burn down their ops backlog.
Right.
And then you end up in this sort of, we call it sometimes reactive firefighting, and you can never get to proactive excellence.
Yeah, reduction in toil.
Reduction in toil.
Yeah, that's a fancy word that I learned once, and I've been using it in a lot of conversations, and it makes me feel studious.
So proud of you. Yeah, and I mean, during that time period, too, when you're reacting, it's not the most conducive to learning lessons or updating runbooks or capturing how to prevent this in the future, right? You're, as a practitioner, an engineer, et cetera, you're focused on getting things back up and running.
Goal number one is to just get out of alarm.
And you might miss things, right?
Absolutely, yep.
So when you move to that proactive
like
stage, oh well, you definitely miss sleep. When you move to that proactive stage, you may not have all the details fresh, or you may have missed things as you were trying to document frantically while also bringing the systems back up online. But can we just take a look?
Wait.
Is there more?
No.
Sorry.
No. If we're going to do a demo, we got to do a demo dance. And I was just told by the producers that there's not been a single demo dance today.
That's how you open the
So
show.
we need to do the demo dance of all demo dances.
Oh, hit. You have to.
11 out of 10 times it works 90% of the time, and a 1 and a 2 and a 3. All right, demo dance completed.
Okay, perfect. So
now we could do a demo.
Let's take a look at your screen, Mohit. We'll pull up your screen and we can start talking through. We'll keep talking. We'll keep conversing, but let's start getting into actually seeing some of this work, because I know, because I have been taking a little bit behind the scenes.
Now, for my security friends that are there, I've noticed already 2 words: incident response and investigation.
Nice.
These are not security investigations or responses, right?
No, correct. Yeah, these are operational investigations. So, for example, you have a sudden traffic spike, and that sudden traffic spike might overwhelm part of your application or your infrastructure. Or you had a recent code change, and that recent code change surfaced a bug. So that's
push the production on a Friday before a holiday.
Exactly.
All the time.
Yeah.
So that's the kind of stuff we're talking about. So I'll kind of walk you through the two parts of the product. There's the get past go setup experience, and then there's the, I'm actually that on-call operator, and how do I handle and work through an investigation.
All right.
So what you see here is our home screen in the AWS console, and in the context of an account administrator can can basically give DevOps Agent superpowers, and it gives the DevOps Agent superpowers via different kinds of integrations. So I mentioned earlier that a number of most of our customers, in fact, use multiple observability products. So the first thing I can do here as an account administrator is connect all these different beautiful built-in telemetry providers. Or if I want to use one that's not provided, I can connect an MCP server.
I'll say this too, Mohit, as an aside. Those top 3 you see there, Datadog, in order, New Relic, those all 3, I work on the AWS Game Day team. Those are 3 of our sponsors and partners for the game days here at reInvent. SentinelOne's
got him.
But love seeing.
Yep, and of course, because as I mentioned earlier, a source of pain can also be recent deployments. You can wire up your pipelines, so we have built-in support for GitLab and GitHub.
Okay.
And you'll hear a theme here. We have MCP, so if those are not your pipeline providers of choice, you can plug in your own using MCP.
Okay.
And then finally, one of our tenets with DevOps Agent is to meet you where you are. So you can integrate with all of the places your on-call on-call humans, on-call engineers.
Yes.
On-call humans, on-call engineers live today, so that includes Slack, includes things like ServiceNow and PagerDuty, and the idea is this plugs into where you are.
So is it fair to say the agent space is like the configuration values that you're setting up, then that the agent or the DevOps agent will be able to
Basically, it's the bounds of the agent. So what I'm showing here is actually the account configuration. And then within the context of the account, the administrator, perfect segue, can set up one or more agent spaces. And when we've rolled this out inside Amazon and AWS, typically an agent space just maps to an on-call rotation.
Ah, got it.
That's a good pattern that we've seen.
Makes sense.
Very quickly, this capabilities tab then lets you kind of go one level deeper than what was set at the account level. So you can specify which AWS accounts this agent has access to. You can specify which of those registered telemetry sources it has access to.
Nice.
We set up, GitHub on the previous screen here. I can specify which repositories specifically I want this agent space to have access to.
Very nice.
And then here, which Slack channels. So for example, here I've wired up a Slack channel. Can go back to my Slack channel here, and you can see that as the DevOps agent does its work, it's updating Slack.
Oh, nice. Okay.
All right, so that's the setup. Let's make sure we get to the operator experience next. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to trigger a failure situation. So it's going to start sending traffic.
If you needed a failure situation, you needn't ask me. Hey, what are you even doing?
Just let AM touch it for a second.
Yeah, just let me look at it. I can
and what I also had done before, and I had removed the put object permission. So
okay.
Traffic is increasing, and a rogue or a rogue operator or an uninformed operator changed an IAM policy. So that's kind of the situation.
Could we even say it might be a smooth operator?
Ooh,
no, we can't.
I grew up in the '80s, so that really hits home.
Rogue operator.
Yeah, so you can see here my Grafana dashboard has very quickly picked up that something is wrong. My SEV3 threshold is now, and my SEV2 thresholds are now being breached.
And now this is the part where you would actually start getting paid.
Yes.
I was about something's going on mine. I didn't know. I don't know how Mohit attached me to the pager group, but
yeah. So So I don't have it wired up to do an automatic investigation right now. But had I had it wired up, basically what would happen is the ticket would come in. And I'll show you using the manual investigation capability here. So our sort of default template and investigate my latest CloudWatch alarm. I can change this to Grafana. And I think in Grafana, it's not alarms, it's alerts. So just in the spirit of proper hygiene, Grafana hygiene, I'm going to switch from alarms to alerts.
We appreciate that.
And I'm going to start investigating. Okay. So what's happening here is the topology starts very zoomed out. And as the agent starts doing its investigation, it's going to zoom in to give you a visual indicator of what the agent is doing.
Okay.
And then the agent starts doing its thing. We kind of went back and forth on how chatty we want the agent to be, and we decided to err on the side of chatty. We talked to lots of customers. The mental model here is the agent is a teammate.
Yeah.
So we really wanted the agent to show what it's doing, and that's what you see happening here. If I think the agent's off of the rails, I have the opportunity here to steer it and say, hey, you're going down the wrong path. You should look at recent deployment activity, for example.
Okay.
All right.
And that gives me that's really like a teammate. I have the opportunity to steer the agent. And what's really neat is, let's say our agent, your on-call engineer, still can't figure out what's going on. There's this button here, ask for human support.
Oh, nice.
I'm not going to press it right now because it's going to actually open a case.
Like a AWS support case?
AWS support case, and
okay.
it automatically knows what support tier you're part of. So I can press this button.
Wicked.
It will open up a support case, and it will pass all of this context to the support engineer. So they're that
them a head start.
They're that much closer.
So it's like front loading. Gosh, that's one of the most annoying. I wouldn't say annoying, but just like time-consuming things when needing to open like any type of support cases. Front loading all that information when you're just like still groggy. It's 2 a.m. and you're just like, what am I even doing that?
Yep.
And you're collecting all this information, but now you're able to just like port it over into a support case to get a human.
You weren't already awake at 2 a.m.?
No.
I was.
And a couple things I want to show before we're out of time. So you can see here, this is super. The agent is very smart. So I had plugged in Grafana using MCP. It not only figured out that, hey, you're using Grafana, it figured out what sources I have wired up into Grafana. Prometheus, CloudWatch, Loki, and Tempo. And it's able to use all of them to correlate. So remember, this started out as an application error. It's not aware yet that this is an issue.
Permissions error.
But it's able to correlate everything, kind of walking down that stack that I had talked about earlier.
Right.
So I'm going to search for my magic keyword here, which was observation, I believe. And indeed, You can see here, it was able to correlate this application error down to something in the infrastructure in S3 and saying, hey, some rogue person modified that S3 permission policy.
Okay.
And correlated back to the application.
So our not so smooth operator made some mistakes in an IAM policy that just derailed our whole business line and woke AM up at 2 a.m.
Hey, I gotta say too, I'm a sucker for a good UI, okay? And I'm seeing a good UI right in front of me right now. And I think maybe one of my favorite engineers here at AWS had something to do with that. I got to shout out my friend Anna Spies, friend to the show. Anna Spies worked on this as well.
Yeah, it's amazing. It's really smooth, and it's
great.
It strikes a great balance between being beautiful to look at, but also being super usable. Like Anna
usable.
Yes.
Is why I brought this up. Anna maybe even requested that I ask you to turn on dark mode.
Oof.
Is that possible?
Yes.
Look at that.
Wow.
And another thing that Anna
now
did
we're
is
hacking.
we were struggling to find the right scrolling behavior for this screen right here.
Yes.
So she kind of came up with a very smart approach. So if you're at the bottom, it tails.
Oh.
But if you're in the middle, it doesn't. You can stay focused on the particular observation. Okay. And then there's a little indicator like 5 new observations. You press the button and it scrolls to the bottom.
I love it.
It's a very intuitive way. Okay. In my final minute here, I want to quickly show you how you can do mitigations.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Mitigation's great.
Yep. So there is a mitigation plan. All these are steps to get out of alarm. We give you commands. We also give you what we call an agent-ready spec. So I could take those same commands and put them in a coding agent like Hero and have it implement the change using IAC instead. And then finally, after I've had some incidents for a while, you can run our prevention capability. These are ways to kind of avoid these kind of issues altogether.
Yes.
So they don't happen again. So you can see the first one here is super irrelevant. It says, hey, if you'd implemented config detection, you might not have ended up in a situation where smooth operator changed the IAM policy. Then
we could just say Kyle changed it.
Yeah, then it's questioning. It's questioning. The second one here, it's questioning, like, maybe this endpoint doesn't even need to be public.
Yeah.
It kind of interrogated my architecture, the logs. It's like, is this endpoint really supposed to be?
While you're fixing this issue that turned it into alarm, here's how you can improve it.
Yeah, exactly. It uses the incident as a starting point, but then it really looks all around the incident for other opportunities for improvement.
So I mean, like the first example you've got here, right? About turning on drift detection. This could then go back into like a standards and operating procedures, document that your team is owning for an operations side, and you could take this learning like we mentioned at the beginning. I didn't have to come to this conclusion while I'm mitigating what's going on.
Yep.
It's already documented here for me as a suggestion from the DevOps agent.
Yeah, absolutely.
Love it.
Yep, that's the idea. And we also, if you don't believe us, we tell you which incidents led us to come to this conclusion.
Oh, that's really cool.
So the proof is in the taste as well.
I will quote Matt Garman's keynote from earlier today, trust but verify, right?
There we go. Yeah, this is the but verify.
Yes.
But verify part. If you say approve, or reject, I guess, we'll make it not show again.
Okay.
But reject is signal to the agent that this was not helpful. So then the next time the agent will seek other kinds of solutions instead.
Kyle, it's learning.
It is learning. But that is wonderful, because I really do like the part where it's not just addressing the immediate tactical reason why something goofed up, but also looking at holistically what can go wrong in the future, and also just, hey, here's some best recommendations to improve this workload security posture, so it doesn't become a problem potentially down the road.
I loved this demo, Mohit. Thank you. We got about 60 seconds. Where do I get started? How do I go start using this today?
It's available, right, as of Matt Garman's keynote. The best place to get started is just our product details page, aws.amazon.com/ I want to say DevOps-agent.
Okay.
And also the what's new, the launch blog post is really great as well.
Wonderful.
Launch blog post walks through a complete end-to-end. So either of those are great places to get started.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for joining us today here at AWS OnAir on the Expo floor. Now, stay tuned, because we're going to find Todd, who's most likely at the AWS Swag Store. somewhere.
Right there.
Todd.
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 Hello?